Many of you probably think that the hardest part of Dark Souls is the boss fights, and you are not wrong there. There are boss fights that are pretty much the hardest thing that this game has to offer, but much harder than some of the boss fights is how to find out how to get into Dark Souls 1's DLC area. And I would hate for you to miss out on Oolacile and the bosses that come with the Dark Souls 1 DLC. I mean, they have the best boss fight and the hardest boss fight in my opinion. The hardest one being the Manus boss fight and the best one being the Knight Artorias boss fight. There's a reason why I haven't talked about Knight Artorias yet, and that's because if I talk about him, I will immediately start crying. So we saved that for another day, but to get there and fight Artorias and Manus and Kalameet, also great boss fight, also terrifying boss fight, you do need a guide on how to get into the DLC area. And I've gone over this in my last video, which is an honest critique of the Soulsborne series, but I figured that this resource should exist on my channel on its own if you're just searching for a way to get into the Dark Souls 1 DLC. So here goes my explanation, very detailed, on how to get in the Dark Souls 1 DLC area. Have fun, tell me how you're doing with Manus, it's a hard boss fight. So here goes. Okay, so first of all, you want to get to that Hydra at the bottom of Darkroot Basin, which you have been avoiding this entire time because it's just shooting some magic projectile vomit at you, and you're just gonna kill it. Now that's somehow the easy part because it's just an enemy that you need to kill, and the Hydra is fairly easy to defeat once you get up to her. Just be careful to not step too far into the water because you will fall down and drown. After you killed the Hydra, you want to walk what seems like unpassable area alongside the basin into like territory that doesn't even seem like it's part of the game to get to a cave. There you will fight a golden golem, like a golden crystal golem, like the ones in the Duke's Archives or the ones that were on the hill leading up to that, but you might have to reload the game until the golden golem comes after you defeated the Hydra. If you go right after you defeated the Hydra, there's a chance that this golem won't even be here, so check back after reloading the area. Once you slay the golem, a princess will come out of it and tell you some vague poem shit. It's Princess Dusk, you have to rescue her to get through the DLC. And she's just like, thank you for rescuing me, do you wanna get my help? And you're like, yes. And she's like, okay, fine, I'm gone, thanks. After the first encounter with Princess Dusk, you wanna teleport yourself back to the Duke's Archives. Yes, the Duke's Archives, nothing around this kind of leads up until going back to the Duke's Archives.
Hold on. Now in the original recording I said that there wasn't much of a link between this area and the Duke's Archives except for when you know that the Hydra is connected to Seath. Now that is a good clue already, and there's crystal golems everywhere. Like in the Duke's Archives, so it's possible to make that connection. However, I still find the following part hard to find out if you don't have help from the internet or a sentient friend. Okay, thanks, now back to regular scheduled programming.
And in the Duke's Archives, at the first bonfire that's right at the beginning, there is one crystal golem right next to this channeler and a couple of like these crystal soldiers. So you want to clear out the room first because the crystal golem, he's actually not hostile, but the other people are, and the channeler is as well. So take care of the surroundings, then kill the crystal golem, he has a tough bar of health, so definitely go get into killing everything else first. So you kill the crystal golem. He gives you a broken pendant, but you can only do this after you've defeated the gold crystal golem and saved Princess Dusk. So the broken pendant now finally permits you to get into the DLC area, but wait, you're not done yet. With the broken pendant now in hand, you are going to go back to where you fought the crystal golem, where there now is a strange purple cloud, which you have to examine, and the most disgusting hand ever will take you to the DLC. And finally, you can now fight the entry boss of the DLC, and I'll also bring some purple moss because that bitch's gonna poison you. So yeah, before you do that, might want to head back to the moss lady to get some purple moss to deal with the poison. But like, the lengths that this had, like, how would you figure this out if you weren't someone who's deep into Dark Souls lore or who doesn't have like an internet connection? So that is how you get into the Dark Souls 1 DLC area. And have fun in Oolacile. Make sure to let me know how you're doing in the comments below. You can also follow me on Twitter or subscribe to this channel if you love From Software's games as much as I do, because I will most certainly continue talking about them on this channel. Also, Sekiro month is fast approaching. March, I officially made that Sekiro month. It's no longer called March, it's now called Sekiro month. Which will completely revolve around the upcoming release of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is a game that I'm so excited to be finally playing the whole version of it. So if you're interested in Sekiro or general Soulsborne content, make sure to subscribe to this channel and stick around. I also sometimes play other games, and sometimes I even stream on Twitch. So make sure you check out all of those resources everywhere, and I'll see you guys next time.